Real history isn't just about kings and battles. It's about the systems that allowed societies to survive when everything else fell apart. It's about the quiet ingenuity that kept people fed, safe, and connected, even as empires crumbled and rulers changed. The most important history is often hidden in plain sight, in the quiet decisions that built resilience. These choices, made in candlelit rooms and bustling markets, shaped the fate of entire civilizations. We focus on what was destroyed, but the real lesson is in what was built to last, and why. The bridges that still stand, the walls that protected, and the systems that endured tell a deeper story. This is the story of medieval gold, not as treasure, but as a technology of survival. Gold was more than a symbol of wealth. It was a tool that helped societies weather the storms of history. Coins like the Florentine florin and Venetian ducat became pillars of stability in a world of chaos. They were trusted across borders, making trade and cooperation possible even in uncertain times. For over 7 centuries, these coins weathered wars, plagues, and the collapse of kingdoms. Their endurance is a testament to the systems that protected them and the people who relied on them. Their longevity wasn't just about gold's value. It was about a system designed to protect and move wealth through danger. These coins traveled safely through war zones and across borders, connecting distant lands. In a time when trust was rare, survival depended on more than strong walls or swords. It depended on networks of trust, legal protections, and the ability to adapt to crisis. Medieval Italy's financial architects created money that was decentralized, legally protected, and shock-proof. Their innovations laid the groundwork for modern finance and global trade. They understood that true strength comes from distributing risk, not concentrating it. By spreading wealth and responsibility, they built a system that could withstand disaster. By uncovering this hidden history, we learn how to build systems that last, even in uncertain times. The lessons of medieval gold remind us that resilience is crafted, not inherited. Picture a wagon in the 14th century carrying gold florins from Florence through a Europe ravaged by war and plague. Centralized treasuries were targets, not fortresses. Yet these coins survived by moving through a web of trusted agents, fortified stops, and flexible contracts. If one route failed, another was used. If one agent was lost, others held parts of the wealth. The gold endured not by hiding, but by being distributed and mobile, protected by a network of shared risk. While kings' currencies collapsed, the florin held its value, backed by merchant families and a city's reputation. The coin was a symbol of a decentralized system of trust. Its survival proved that resilience, not brute force, was the ultimate currency. Gold's value isn't just about rarity or beauty. Yes, it's scarce and durable, and coins like the florin became global brands, trusted for their purity and weight. But that's only part of the story. Many gold coins vanished when rulers debased them or treasuries were looted. If scarcity was all that mattered, any gold would have survived, but most didn't. The real secret was the system, a network of legal and financial innovation that protected wealth. The florin and ducat survived because their managers understood wealth must flow, not stagnate. They built a system of distribution, legal protection, and shared risk. That's what made their gold resilient when others failed. The true secret of medieval gold's longevity was its resilient management system. Unlike monarchies that hoarded wealth in one treasury, Florence and Venice distributed it across family banks and foreign depots. Legally binding contracts like bills of exchange let merchants move value without moving gold. Wealth traveled as information, not just metal, and was protected by local interests. Rival banking families competed, but also cooperated, creating a network that could absorb shocks. The system's reputation depended on everyone honoring commitments, incentivizing mutual support. This decentralized, legally robust network was anti-fragile, able to root around disaster. The florin survived because it was part of a system built for crisis, not calm. It's a lesson in structural resilience, that contrasts sharply with today's vulnerabilities. Comparing medieval gold to modern money is like stone fortresses versus glass skyscrapers, two worlds, each with their own strengths and vulnerabilities. The medieval system's strength was its physical, decentralized nature, value in the coin itself, protected by a distributed network of people and places. Gold was tangible, trusted, and universally recognized, no matter where you traveled. Wealth was slow to move, but that slowness meant it was naturally spread out and robust. Each transaction required effort, but that effort created resilience, making it difficult for any single disaster to wipe out everyone's savings. Reputation and contracts, not governments, underpinned trust. Deals were sealed with a handshake and a promise, and the community remembered who kept their word. If a kingdom fell, the system endured. A gold coin's value didn't vanish with a king's default. The coin outlasted rulers, wars, and even empires, carrying value across generations. Today, our money moves at lightning speed, but it's centralized and abstract, just digital entries in a few big banks. Most of us never see our wealth. It exists as numbers on a screen, managed by distant institutions. This efficiency brings fragility. A cyber attack or institutional failure could freeze millions' wealth instantly. The same speed that lets us pay in seconds can also lock us out in an instant. Our system relies on faith in governments, banks, and digital infrastructure. We trust that the lights will stay on, the servers will run, and the rules won't suddenly change. In stable times, it works. But it's built for calm, not chaos. When everything runs smoothly, the system feels invisible, almost effortless. The medieval merchant spread risk. We concentrate it, hoping the glass skyscraper never faces a storm. Our prosperity depends on a few pillars holding strong, rather than many hands sharing the load. The lesson: resilience comes from distribution, not centralization. When risk is shared, systems can bend without breaking. Are we prepared for the next crisis, or are we trusting too much in the strength of glass and code? History is a brutal test for financial systems. During the 100 Years' War, kings debased their currencies, destroying trust and savings overnight. Amid this chaos, the Florentine florin remained stable, its purity and weight never compromised. Florence's policy was simple: never debase the coin. The florin became the preferred currency for trade and diplomacy, trusted because it was immune to royal whims. Its value was guaranteed by a commercial republic, not a desperate monarch. Modern currencies, by contrast, have collapsed in hyperinflation, from Weimar Germany to Zimbabwe, when trust in central authority failed. The medieval gold system operated independently of any single state, providing an escape from government failure. When the world burned, the florin and ducat survived. They were financial lifeboats, proof that resilience outlasts centralized power. Florence was a laboratory for financial innovation, built on one principle: never put all your eggs in one basket. Instead of a single vault, gold was distributed across dozens of locations, at home and abroad. This strategy meant no single defeat could destroy the city's wealth. Wealth was managed as a network, not a hoard. Sophisticated contracts, like bills of exchange, let merchants move value safely across borders. The contract, not the gold, traveled, creating a private legal framework beyond unreliable kings. Reputation was the ultimate collateral. This combination of physical distribution and legal innovation made Florence the banker to popes and kings. By spreading risk, the Florentines built a system that could survive almost any disaster. The stability of the florin and ducat made them the reserve currencies of their age. Their value was guaranteed not by military might, but by the integrity of the metal and the system. Trust was earned through generations of reliability in crisis. This trust fueled demand, bringing wealth and influence to Florence and Venice. Financial innovations like double-entry bookkeeping and bills of exchange laid the groundwork for modern capitalism. In contrast, modern fiat currencies often collapse quickly when trust evaporates, leaving nothing to fall back on. The golden legacy of Florence and Venice is a lesson in building systems that are resilient and decentralized. The Florence 700-year reign was no accident. It was the result of a system designed to endure. It challenges us to question whether our own systems are built for resilience or just for speed. The story of medieval gold is more than just a tale from the past. It's a blueprint for survival that still echoes today. These coins weren't simply currency. They were the foundation of systems designed to withstand the storms of uncertainty. Systems that concentrate risk are brittle. They shatter under unexpected shocks, leaving little room for recovery or adaptation. The Florentine and Venetian model assumed failure would happen, so they spread assets, diversified investments, and built networks of trust that could absorb losses and keep commerce flowing. Decentralization and legal innovation made their wealth anti-fragile, allowing them to thrive even when others faltered. This lesson goes far beyond finance, whether in technology, ecology, or daily life. True resilience comes from diversity, distribution, and the ability to adapt to change. Relying on a single job, skill, or relationship is risky. One failure can be catastrophic, setting off a chain reaction that's hard to stop. Building a resilient life means diversifying and cultivating networks so that support and opportunity come from many directions. The enduring legacy of medieval gold urges us to examine our own systems for single points of failure and to strengthen them before crisis strikes. Have we traded resilience for efficiency, sacrificing long-term security for short-term gains? The past teaches that survival favors the adaptable and resilient, not just the strong or the fastest. The gold coin that outlasted empires did so because it was part of a system built to endure, an idea we'd be wise to remember as we build our own futures.